after a long wait and a long, arduous journey with this streaming PC, we are finally back, ladies and gentlemen,
Yep.
for Game 2 of our Week 1 Academy Overwatch versus Saginaw Valley. We apologize for the first game, obviously ran into some technical difficulties. Valpo didn't end up coming out with it, right? Going down 1 in the series here. But now returning back to Game 2, now looking to try and just take a defense on Numbani, right? Obviously, didn't get to see much of that first one. We were
Yeah.
restarting the
I
PC,
have no
so
idea what happened,
yeah,
but
I would love to sit here and tell you that I have some idea of what's going on or how our
Hamster
team
is
played.
fed,
But
hydrated, ready to go.
Yep.
But we got Winston for both tanks here. Zacher starting on tank, L and Karma on DPS. We got Cassidy and Shojin, and then Ramon, or is it Raymond? Raymond? I forget what
I think it's Ramon because
it's Ramon, yeah.
yeah, but there's no accent mark. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, and then AeroJ as support. Do not recognize that new support character from AeroJ.
Yeah, so that is Juno, right? Juno pretty much released, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and she's taken competitive by storm. She is slowly becoming the most played character in competitive at the moment, and that's not just like, you know, me just chatting. That is a genuine stat that comes out. But Valpo looking to opt for a little bit of a hit scan team kind of here, leaving a lot of the area damage to be to that Winston, that kind of area control. Hopefully just trying to control this top choke on Numbani here. Immediately the anti comes out, gonna have to just back Zacher up a teensy bit, but he's gonna immediately walk back, right? You have 4 people in this room, a good sleep coming from Saginaw, and just trying to just take this top angle. Obviously, got a lot of DPS in the backline. Karma, great for this kind of situation, right? You just build so much charge. You have a lot of, you weave a lot of right clicks. But they have a Sombra in the backline there, just looking to disrupt it, trying to just spread up a little bit of space. And obviously that dive worked because now Zacher's going to be forced back off the point. Tracer and Sombra both diving there. You don't have a lot of frontline DPS, but you have a ton of backline shooting for the side of Saginaw. And it's going to work because Winston's going to take out the first kill. L falling, and now Valpo has to just kind of push back off of this point, looking a little bit split here. It's going to be a little bit rough as obviously they're just backing up. They might look to just try and push back onto this point. Here goes Zacher on the top, immediately going to get countered back by Mega. The hack coming out as well, going to just shred out this front line. A little bit of health left, not going to be enough, and Valpo is forced off this first point. Saginaw going to be able to capture.
Yeah, Zacher has fallen really low a lot of times here, whether he was anti'd, went a little too deep in, but support's doing a good job of keeping him alive and retreating just at the perfect time. But, like you said, Saginaw Valley able to take control of first point. Zacher does have ultimate up here, going to be the first. Oh, and AeroJ also has ultimate. Looks like it's actively being used right now. But we'll see some ultimates start to come online for both teams here. L approaching his, it's high noon ultimate ability.
Nice one.
I have no idea what it's
almost
called.
like it's almost like Cassidy's in the room with us right now. This is awesome. But no, Valpo looking to just, obviously you give up the payload, gonna take an immediate aggressive position, especially when you have the ult advantage, right? You have 4 ultimates coming up. REJ charging really quickly. That's one of the things that players complain about with Juno, especially, is her ult. Not only does she have 3 of the best like basic abilities in the game, just like from every other kit, but her ultimate is just really game changing. As you see Saginaw popping theirs right there, but it's not going to really amount to much. They didn't have the DPS behind it. Going to be pushed back a teensy bit. Zacher staying on this front line, and now Tracer jumping to this back. Really good kind of fallback from Valpo, being able to absorb that Tracer's push, and now going to walk back forward, but a great anti from the side of from the Ana on Saginaw, and now they're just going to push it right back. Lindsay being able to snipe that backline there. Have to just wait out this anti, but then you can push right back. Obviously trading 2 for 2 there. Pretty great for Valpo, especially with the position they're holding.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty competitive game.
Really an angle you're used to holding kind of on Numbani. A lot of it's been looking for the Tracer. Doesn't find it, but Juno's still on the top. They're still, I mean...
Not see teams hold that very often.
Yeah, for the side of Saginaw, just going off of the back of the Sombra ult is what 4 of them respawning at the same time.
These dive comps, super explosive. I mean, you looked at the kill feed and like all of them died just instantaneously.
Yeah. Scarily enough, it was like I pulled out the
Usually you
crystal
see
ball.
like one fall, another fall, people fall back, but I mean they all just got aced at the same time.
That is the one tough part about kind of holding those early chokes on Numbani, is that they're very ult dependent. And Arya J immediately gonna pop the might be
What is it? Ban? Band on main. Yeah,
Yep,
I love
there you
that.
go.
I love that.
And no, Zacher
Getting
immediately
hacked.
pushing right back. Yep, Valpo still just trying to look for this side here. A lot of the angles kind of being a bit weird. Obviously, you have to kind of keep a timer on that Sombra ult now, because that was the thing that blew you up last time. Tracer, looking on the top, does have Pulse Bomb. You have to be careful, though, getting jumped on. Arya J going to be able to cover for the support, but immediately gets Pulse Bomb in the back. That's going to be 2 down for Valpo. They're going to be pushed back to this line as well, looking for something. Not going to be able to find much, and it looks like Karma's just going to be forced to this back line. Zacher has the ult, but immediately slept on the line. 5 seconds left on it, too, with the health boost. Just going to try and look to get jumped around. Hacked. Still just holding so much of this ground. Going to be able to jump and push back here. Tracer jumping in as well, just trying to match that. But you have the healing now on this side. You can hold this angle, especially with that Winston jumping up. And they're looking to stop this. 0.36 left on the checkpoint here. Yep. Just walking up a teensy bit, trying to find anything they can. Going to jump over
L
this
popping
wall.
ult here.
Yep. Trying to look for something.
Oh, not going to find anyone.
Unlucky.
But Karma also has ult here, so Valpo looking to make a hold here with 20 seconds left before this objective. But did they overextend here? Do have 3 players falling for the side of Valpo, and they're going to have to back off there. So Saginaw Valley getting some more time, extending into their trip on attack here. Yeah, Karma and Raymond still in having ultimate here, and Zacher falls as well. Valpo really needs to regroup as 5 here, find their moment, and then make a stand.
Definitely. And no, I mean, tough part is, right, obviously you pop those DPS ults, you're not really able to find something immediately as well, and a lot of that pressure is now off Saginaw because they're allowed to just dive your backline, right? So that's kind of been the repeat of this defense, at least, is that they haven't had to swap off that Tracer, off that Sombra, because they're able to just dive in so quickly, but immediately getting the speed boost from Juno, gonna jump in. Zacher looking to just push him off point, gets the boost again, looking for something. The grenade, the biotic grenade is gonna be able to heal out a little bit, not gonna pick up any kills for the side of Valpo, but the pressure is gonna be enough to push him back. They are in spawn now. Juno going a little bit low. Zacher looking to just hunt here, trying to jump to this back. Sitting in the shield, gonna get slept, but a little bit too far. Healer's not gonna be able to reach him, now gonna be backed up. And here comes the rest. Sombra with the 4-man hack as well, just gonna push right back. There goes, there goes Geek, and there goes Mega in the back line. Band on main finishing it off, gonna get that last kill, and all that's left is Ramon and Zacher to try and sit on this point.
Karma and Ramon still with ultimate. Zacher with his ult up. His ult just came out when he died there.
Oh, the hack is going to stop the Kitsune rush here. There's the Kitsune rush a little bit late, but L's going to be able to pick up one. Now immediately trying to hit from the side. The boost on the Winston's going to be a little bit rough. Mega picks up one as well to trade. It's going to be a 4v4, excuse me, on this point here. Winston just using out the rest of the ult, looking to pick up 2. Picks up both of the supports in the backline. Looking for 3 with this Sombra. Gets the punch off. That's going to be enough. Karma picks it up, but they all jumped off point. Not going to be able to find this, and Valpo finishes it off with the closest stop on that defense there. Not going to reach that 3rd objective.
That was big time. That's what they call a C9, I believe.
Hey,
I was so confused. I didn't even figure out what happened there.
Yep. Yeah. No. I'm honestly just playing it all by eyes right now. The sound is a little bit buggy on my side, so I can't really hear much, but you know, we rock either way. But now, obviously, you have something to shoot for, right?
Yeah.
Valpo, you're not really pushed for time anymore, right? Especially because you're working to that 2nd objective. You're not looking to completely shove out this first one, right, or give yourself enough time. You can kind of feel out your objective at least a little bit here, and it looks like comp-wise, still going a pretty dive-heavy comp. Karma looks to be hanging around those hit scans, right? Kind of sitting on the Sojourn for that defense that whole time, so immediately gonna sit on it again for offense here. Obviously, just a great pick right now. Sojourn is, quite frankly, just the kit is going to be strong no matter what, unless her damage numbers are completely nerfed. So always going to be able to just pick up those quick kills. Pretty high skill expression champ. Obviously, you have L, Zacher to dive in. Juno, really great for kind of sustained healing. And then you have you have the cure. Oh, my voice is cracking up here. Excuse me. Sorry. You're running supports that are able to support the dive and still stay safe. Yeah. That is the point I'm trying to say here. But,
yeah, it seemed like Valpo, their comp in game 1, I mean, Obviously, I'm not like super tuned in with the meta, but like Zacher may have been going in a little deep. Supports may have not been able to follow up. But I do like the minor
teleport as well. The
adjustments.
aggressive teleport from L on the Reaper. Gonna reset the ammo here and immediately just walk him down with Zacher.
Oh.
That's a double kill right there. And Valpo starting it off really strong. Gonna force the grenade out. And it should be a triple for Valpo. Now immediately hopping back onto this point. Nothing Saginaw Valley can do right there.
L with
really,
a great start on the Reaper.
Super aggressive TP there, and I love it.
I mean,
right?
just look at his ult charge too. I mean, he's almost there already, which is crazy. Just less than a minute into the game.
No, Valpo, that's exactly what you're looking for, right? You walk up, you know that the shield's down, you know that their cooldowns are down for their supports as well, so you walk it, right? You just push that objective, you push that power, and Reaper, when you don't have anything to peel for him, is really, really tough getting on your back. But
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
just gonna walk this corner. You have to be careful here. Obviously, you have a couple of ults coming up here. The Winston Nano is always something you have to be worried about. As you're trying to just swap off and take this corner, there's Winston jumping to the side as well. And now just going to walk around the angle. Looking for a headshot here. Going to be able to find one, but it's not going to take off any kills. But it looks like Zacher's just looking to finish off Sombra. Isolated to this left side. Immediately going to peel back. They're going to have to just bounce back. And Winston's still on that backline. L and Karma putting in a ton of work on this backline. You do have the Death Blossom open, but you're not going to need it. L picking up the Sombra, picking up the Winston, immediately going to clear off this point. Zacher just finding them in the backline. Karma's going to be able to finish off with that right click. And Valpo with an extremely, extremely strong early push here and with the ult charge.
Yeah, usually we're commenting on people who don't use their ult charge when they need to use it. Here, I mean, we had a fight that we were winning dominantly, and we decided to save it for the next fight. So great decision by a lot of members of the team, not even needing to use the ultimate in that fight. And they're making great pace. 4 minutes and already at this checkpoint where we saw Saginaw Valley around 30 seconds, almost an OT at this first checkpoint.
You have to be careful now. I mean, they jumped in immediately. I don't think Valpo was expecting it. They're going to throw out the Sombra ult as well on that push. If you could just back up and not get picked anymore, I think it's still somewhat worth for Valpo, right?
Yeah.
You didn't get second objective yet. Obviously, they went to shove it, but they did blow 2 ultimates there for that. 2 huge, like, team fight winning ultimates as well. Nothing to be too worried about here now.
Yeah, Valpo's going to have 5. I mean, they could even ult dump if they really want to.
Yeah, especially if you're worried about it, you pop the Juno, you walk up. There's the Reaper immediately jumping to the side. Zacher's still playing really aggressively here. Arya J going to be able to pick up the first kill. And now walking in, right, there's that Juno ult we expected. And now going to just bump back to this point, letting the healers kind of take off. The Death Blossom didn't turn into anything, as it looks like Saginaw is going to be able to turn this fight. Immediately picking up 1, Zacher. Gonna have to pop the ult here just to stay alive. Gonna pick up 2 though, not going down without a fight. Looking for this Winston as well, looking for 3. Immediately just slapping around. You don't have any supports on this Winston. You might be able to win it if you just space away from this Reaper, but Reaper's gonna grab a health pack, and now Zacher's in a bit of a weird spot. Gonna have to just jump away, regroup to the healers, and they're gonna force the Winston ult out from the side of Saginaw, but Squishy with the Death Blossom in the back line. Gonna pick up 2 as well. Both supports down for the side of Valpo. Is now it's just you and your 3 DPS.
Yeah, Saginaw Valley making a hold in a much more traditional position for them right before the checkpoint. But Valpo does have 2 ultimates still. Karma and Ramon still hanging on to theirs. Saginaw Valley out of theirs. But yeah, Valpo has plenty of time to work with, but at some point does need to win a fight to take over this checkpoint.
Yeah,
there goes out the
Kitsune.
Kitsune.
You have to be careful here. Definitely got to use it, but Arya J gets a pick immediately, and both the supports in the backline are low. L's going to be able to pick up the other. Ramon finishing off that Reaper in the front line as well. Now all that's left is this Winston on point, and Winston's going to go down. Bandon Main's going to be able to pick up 1, but Zacher's going to trade it right back. That's a checkpoint for Valpo for these respawns as well, which is really, really worth for them.
So, I mean, like we were talking about, the pace of this play, I mean, they got over 3 minutes left, where Saginaw Valley was just over a minute and some change when they reached that first checkpoint. So, Valpo in a really good spot here in Game 2. And, you know, in a spot where they got a great chance of winning.
Yep. And I mean, I love a good Winston meta. I know that most support players in Overwatch don't like a Winston meta.
I do want to say Saginaw Valley does make the switch to Diva my favorite tank to play.
No, yeah. All right, we're covering all bases here. But
yeah, interesting
Zacher
switch by them.
jumping in the back. Really good sleep from the side of Saginaw, as now the rest of Valpo's going to be forced back. Zacher kind of just alone, almost forgotten about in this backline here. Going to be able to jump up to the top. Valpo just kind of backing up, letting it take time. Now going to jump to the side. I think L's looking for a little bit of an angle. If they can get a pick or at least a Wraith form out of this Reaper here, pushing him back, it would be worth, as it's going to open up to a lot of offense. Charma now just walking down to the side. Obviously, you have ult charge coming in. Arya J immediately going to pop it. Looks like they're going to use this to try and look for something. L in the back line, not going to find anything though. The D.Va immediately going to delete that Death Blossom, but now Zacher sneaking up from the side. Karma gets pushed on, not going to be able to find anything with the ult. Ramon getting pushed back as well here. The nano boosted D.Va just so dangerous in this back line. Zacher going to pop the ult to stay alive, going to be able to finish off one. Still looking for the second in the back. The sleep dart misses, and you have to be careful. The ult coming in from Mega, just trying to reset the mech here. Zacher gonna pick it up, but Arya J goes down in the back line. Winston finally going down, but L is right there. Valpo has to be really careful not to stagger themselves here. I know you want to drag out this fight, but you kind of just have to back it up, especially with both your DPS kind of separated like this.
Yeah, don't have great ult eco here too. Only a minute 30 left. So I mean, gonna have to make a play here. D.Va so far working out, did use that ultimate to remech, and then we also lost the Reaper ult on L, unfortunately, as well, too. Just got one shot the second he used it. But Kitsune's going to come out for the side of Valpo, and they get absolutely melted by Squishy. Great Reaper ult, weren't able to catch it, but you could just hear it and look at the kill feed, and it was rough. But Valpo fighting back in this team fight. Ramon takes out Squishy. Ramon does get traded off. Zacher did have a kill earlier there. And a lot of action in this past 30 seconds here. Started off by a great ultimate from Squishy.
Yep, you have to be careful here now. Obviously, you don't have the Kitsune. You kind of went ult for ult there. But looking at our charge, we are down a little bit, at least on the side of who gets that support ult first, right? And that support ult is huge because Juno's just ability to kind of walk down these points, especially with that kind of area of effect, is really, really big. L immediately going to pop the Wraith form, just kind of look for a little bit of backline disruption as Karma is immediately back there as well. Going to pick up one. Zacher's going to finish off the second from that kill there. Sliding in, looking for Ana. Ana, no sleep dart, but immediately going to pop off with the DPS there. Going to find it. The biotic grenade keeping him alive, and now the backline of Valpo is stuck, but L is just going to clean up here with 2 kills. Zacher picking up the third, looking for the fourth here. Sombra left on the point, still have the boost from Juno as well. Gonna just shred. Ramon picking up a double there, and Valpo's gonna be able to push this and take game 2 of this series.
Big time.
Yep.
I mean, that was a great last fight there. We saw Karma finding a great kill, and then Zacher finished off that second one, going a little bit too deep, but I mean, great spot to overextend if you're going to do it. And we are going to see this play of the game from Winston on Mega. Kind of surprised it wasn't the Reaper ult, but we'll take a look here.
Yeah, it was the Sombra combo.
Yep.
Sombra and the 3-man biotic grenade. That was nasty. No, you got to get to Saginaw, right? No, you kind of run a wombo comp like that, especially with a lot of your AoE effects. So it's kind of what you expect to do, but I think best part about that was Valpo kind of changed how they played, right? Obviously, doing a lot better when they play a lot more aggressive. You're not really open to playing aggressive when you're on defense, but when it comes to our offensive push, getting that last stop on that third point was huge for just opening us up, letting us kind of play that aggressive game.
Yep, but we are going to hop to a short break before game 3, so we will see you guys in just a minute.
ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, for the start of our map 3, going to Coliseum push. I know it's not Coliseum, but I'm gonna call it Coliseum because I forgot how to pronounce the name.
Yeah,
But
huge
don't
fan
worry
of
about that.
push. Probably one of my favorite game modes. But do want to note Valpo having a substitution here. Ramon moving from support to DPS in place of Karma, and then NH Cool Stuff gonna be subbing in as support. So excited to see how this works out for them. But Valpo doing a great job in game 2. We're able to kind of settle into this game. Didn't watch game 1, but I can imagine it was a close game. A little bit nervous first game for a lot of these players. We did mention, kind of an inexperienced team. But really excited here. You will see Zachar on the Junker Queen, so switching up a little bit.
Last night around dinner time.
And then we got L on a DPS character.
Yep.
Ramon on
No, yeah.
Cassidy. NH Cool Stuff on Lucio.
Yeah.
Arrow J on the new character.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was.
That's a great character lineup there.
Yep. There's a character, and character. No, we have El Ensemble. We got Lucio coming out. We got the Cassidy coming out. We have the Juno again. You're gonna notice that we've seen Juno every game, in every section, because she kind of does everything. So it's really hard to not play her in these situations, especially in a push map. But you're gonna see Valpo is opting for a lot more of a dive-heavy comp.
You see the Junkrat from Squishy too. Very unique character.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
See how that goes for them.
I like it, right? You have a lot of choke points that you can spam into. You have a lot of DPS that you can output, especially when you have a Ramacha with a pretty strong front line. You're kind of allowed to just bounce around a little bit immediately with the anti and the sleep, and that's going to be huge. Zachar does get picked off here. L just looking for something on the corner, not going to be able to find it. It looks like they're getting backed up here, as now the supports are just left to kind of just fend for themselves in the back line. Going to immediately give the speed up. Ario with 9 health, 13 health. Going to pick up the health pack, going to stay alive, but Valpo is going to lose pressure on this point, though. Just going to be forced to back up without Zachar.
That was great target focus on Zachar when he got the anti-heal. Saginaw Valley was immediately able to focus him down, so great job. Props to them, but Valpo grouping up, returning, looking to take back control of the robot.
Yep, and does get the hook on Junker Queen hooks Junkrat. Gonna look
So
for the kill
low.
there. One hit, there we go,
Nice.
fights it in the back line. Although you are gonna lose the support for that. Valpo can still trade it a little bit. You have Tank in the back line. Geek gonna pick up the second. Band on main picking up the third. Valpo is now fighting at a 3v5. Gonna find another there. It's a little bit rough as Valpo can't really find anything more. Cool Stuff just gonna be forced to back up and now kind of put on the back foot here. Hardest part about finding this kind of dive comp is when you fight a team that has really strong front line, right? It's the biggest part is just trying to get past that team. That Ramacha is playing a lot of zone control that front line. You can see L can't really find any angles to that back yet, and it's making it kind of rough, but immediately going to push out from the side here. Going to look for something. Junker Queen hitting the hook there. Going to pull in from the side. The kinetic grenade's going to land, but it's not going to be much as the ult comes out from Ramacha.
Zachar
It's going to
goes
force
down.
them back.
Zachar
Yep.
goes down early again, too. I mean, that's going to be tough for Valpo.
Yeah.
Saginaw Valley hitting that halfway point, getting the closer spawn, so huge for them.
This Ramacha just proving to be a ton of damage here in this front.
Yeah, the anti-heal is rough on Zachar, but I also think, maybe it's just the character switch adjusting from a super, run at you, dive into their team character like Winston into the Junker Queen. Just has to switch up their playstyle a little bit.
It's a bit weird. It's definitely, excuse me, you have an ult coming out from May on the side of Saginaw, and that's going to be huge there. You're going to pick up 2 kills. Zachar also going low in the backline, L in the backline as well. They're just pushed back again, and Valpo just can't really find their footing for this fight here as the push robot is reaching the very end. A huge ult in the back just to save himself there for Zachar, but the issue is you don't really have much follow-up as L is the only DPS left on this point right now. Zachar's going to push back. You do have the Sombra ult coming in. You might be able to look for a toss over the middle and land it. You do have all 5 there if you look for something, but your DPS is down. You have to pull a move now. Immediately going to find it. There's the ult coming out as well. Going to look for the DPS. May goes down. L looking for another here. Although you are going to trade, Valpo is still at a disadvantage. Dies another. This Ramacha just proving to be so much damage in this line, and Valpo not going to be able to find it. They're on their last legs here. Look for something. Ramon gonna pop this ult, look for something, not even gonna be able to pull the trigger there. Mega just putting on a clinic here on the Ramacha, and now Valpo in the very last second, but you have your DPS ults for the side of Saginaw, and that might be one of the quicker push games we've seen here for the side of Valpo, as that is the game. And just as quick as it started, it finished. Blink and you miss it. Valpo not really being able to find their footing in any of those fights there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they played great in game two. Not really sure what kind of happened. Did have the roster switch, did have a completely different comp. But yeah, definitely found on the back foot and just could not recover.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it I feel like is just kind of spacing in these fights, right? You can see the hardest part about running kind of those flank comps like that is if you can't really find your way to the back line, like I said, or just if they push back on you, right? Ramacha is great because he has kind of his form switches. So you try to dive that back line, he form switches, is able to walk back. And if you can't capitalize on that with the rest of your team, it makes it really, really rough to find that. And I feel like that they kept such a consistent push. That game ended quicker before we could swap really anything out. So Valpo, a bit rough, obviously, for game two. But nice thing is, series is not over yet, right? Obviously, gonna make a couple of switches, gonna make a couple of swaps, get back on your feet and hop in for this, hopefully not final game of this series. But we will catch you guys really quick after the break for the start of the next game. are back, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, for the start of our hopefully not final match here of this Valpo versus Saginaw Valley State University Blue. Saginaw Valley going up 2-1 in this series right now, obviously first to 3. So Valpo has to kind of pull it out here for this flashpoint for the Servasa map. And I think kind of best case scenario here. Obviously, Valpo going back to the roster that won them that game 2, going back to that comfort. And
do want to note, I mean, not actually the exact same roster as game 2 because NH Cool Stuff.
Oh, that's right.
On the
Yep.
Lucio and Ramon switched out. That must have happened the last second right before we went
Yep.
into game.
Sorry about that.
Anyways, L on Echo?
Yeah. I wonder if this is just a swap. I think Valpo likes these kind of really aggressive comps, right? Obviously, we saw in Numbani have a lot of success for them. RAJ being able to use the speed boost there, just get them out there. That speed boost plus Lucio speed boost, I think these guys will be to the point before the point even spawns or the enemy team's able to get out of their spawn points. But Zach are immediately going to shoot to the side here. You take a lot of pressure on this top side, right? Mega staying on that Ramatra that we saw from last game, obviously give him a lot of success, be able to just kind of rock with that. But now, gonna just try and push on this point. You're gonna keep the Junker Queen from last match, but obviously now you have this DPS Echo kind of playing this really aggressive top side. Nobody really paying attention to it. Is now the Mei wall is going to try and block off Zacher. Zacher's able to out heal that. Immediately going to bump to the side. You are a bit low here, right? Just trying to shred a little bit. Hits the beam out. Not going to be able to find anything. And now just being pushed back. Squishy going to be able to pick up the first kill. Squishy picking up the second kill as well. Valpo now going down. The anti on Zacher being huge. Might fall as well. Just looking for something. That is going to be 4 down for the side of Valpo. All that's left is Karma. Karma going to be forced back, and Valpo going to lose this point after 41% of it already captured.
Yep. Obviously, for Flashpoint, these points go a lot faster too. A lot faster paced game. Do want to say Zacher seems to be doing a better job on the Junker Queen so far. When he's gotten antied, when he's gotten walled off and things like that, he's just really tried hard to take a minute, wait for his supports, and then obviously support's doing a good job as well, keeping him alive.
Yep,
Fortunately, did lose that first fight, but they're about even at point. Valpo looking to contest here.
Ooh, and Karma's going to pick up one there as well. Looking for something here. Immediately shot from the side. It's a pretty even fight right now. Both falling down. Looking for another right click here. Immediately going to shield right before that. But Zacher and Cool Stuff will pick it up. Ramatra popping a really late ult here. Just trying to stop something. But I think there's just too much DPS on Cool Stuff picking up the final hit there. And Valpo with a really good retake there. Not blowing any ultimates.
Yeah, great job by Valpo there. Starting off with Karma to pick on the Reaper, who obviously did a phenomenal job in that last fight. And then Zacher able to find a couple kills, NH Cool Stuff as well. Great retake there. This Flashpoint is the mini game mode, so it's first to 3, best of 5 in this specific map. Points go a lot faster than Control. Alpha up to 80%.
This might be an angle to ult here for Zacher, but he's going to push back immediately, gets the boost from Lucio as well, and a great shot from Karma. Going to be able to work kind of just front to back here, trying to just zone out that Reaper. Karma finds the second one, looking for the third one in the back line as well. Going to half, going to have to just bounce back there, and now sliding to the side as well. Another shot. L's bomb's going to be able to finish off that third one. Ramatra still on the point here, just trying to push off Arya J. Arya J almost falling alive, not going to be able to make it out, but does sacrifice for the team as Karma's going to finish it back off there. The overtime meter is going to go down, and the first flashpoint's going to fall to Valpo.
Yeah, great shots by Karma there. Does end up falling off the platform before he finds that third headshot.
Yep.
But Valpo up 1-0 in Flashpoint, and once again, they're looking like they did in Game 2. They're looking like a team. They're looking coordinated, making great plays, making shots. I don't know what the funk was in Game 3, but it looks like they are, back in business here for Game 4.
Yeah, a lot of it can be chalked up to comp too, right? Sometimes you might be in a situation with a comp that you might be uncomfortable with. Not that you haven't played it, but more so that just what the team is coming at you with. As we have a Reaper TP in this backline, Karma in a bit of a weird spot now, just trying to jump in, going to force the Wraith form out, and now jumping to the side. You have to be careful. Here comes the ult coming from Arya J, and the boost up immediately as well. Going to look for something. They're going to try and just shove onto this point. First capture is going to be to Saginaw, but Zacher going to be able to pick up a double there. immediately with the ult from the side as well. Zacher picking up a third one. Gonna get the pull as well. Valpo gonna take the point back. Sleep hitting. Not gonna be too worried though, as they're just gonna shove it right back.
He's just taking a nap after that 3K. Saginaw Valley taking the point first, but Valpo ultimately winning the fight and will grant them much more percent than that initial 14. Great job by AeroJ, by Zacher in that team fight. Karma and Zacher still holding on to these ults. The Shojin obviously just gives like better damage, better stats, and then the Zacher, I believe he dashes through and anti-heals their entire team.
Yeah.
Or everyone he hits.
It's really, really nice, especially when you pair it with that Karma, because then you can kind of just spam that right click, right? There's no real healing deficit to it. You don't have to aim much for headshots, but immediately the wall off and the anti in the back is going to be huge. Zacher's going to fall. L's going to fall as well. Now Valpo at a 3v5 at disadvantage here. Yeah, both your supports and Karma. They're just going to try and back up here. No need to push anything. They capture the point already. Save your ultimate, save your time, be able to push in hard.
May putting up a great wall, able to isolate the team, isolate those healers off and do find the pick, win that little team fight, skirmish.
Yep.
Saginaw Valley able to take over percent. Valpo as 76 here, so if they win a big fight, could secure the point for them.
You got to be careful here. Obviously, you have the Ramattra ult up, so either you need to pick their backline more, or you need to just get a Ramattra pick. The sleep is going to be huge there as well. Going to be able to pop to the side. There's the Death Blossom coming out from Reaper, but it's not going to find anything. And it's cool stuff falling to the Ramattra, and now you're pushing back on point. Zacher going really low, not going to be able to find it. Got zoned off from the team, and now the rest of Valpo, again, getting deja vu. Same people going to be just forced back here. Immediately, the double shot from Ramattra in the form. Going to pick up a triple kill there, and all that's left is Aria J just pushing back to the spawn here. Valpo, no big deal. Just going to have to give this flashpoint. No need to blow too much here. Yep. And now you just play the rest of this match.
Mega did a great job on the Ramattra, chasing down, kind of staggering those respawn timers, so Valpo had no chance of getting that final contestant for the second point. So we are tied up 1-1 in flashpoint here. Reminder, it is first to 3 points. Both teams with a good amount of ults here.
Yeah, I think so far both teams are playing really, really conservative with their ults.
Yeah.
It's really reactionary, right? Because obviously, like, Death Blossom came out, you had the Lucio ult come out, but there's not really any fights that are started with ultimates, especially considering the ults that you have on the side of Valpo. I think that it is pretty good. You can always morph, you can always pop in with Zacher, and here comes the Mei ult as well. Aria J's not going to be able to find it, falling off. Mega Mega picks up the kill on Zacher, now going to be pushed off. Looks like L's just going to kill himself to try and reset this here. Make sure you respawn with the team so that you can get a complete push.
Yeah, I know sometimes you like purposefully die like within the team fight just so you can be synchronized with the team. But anyways, Saginaw Valley State going to take control of the third point at the beginning here. Something that we did see with the Jungle Queen last year, when Squirrel Flaps would play it, when Kirakuki would play it, was they would kind of start the fight.
Yep, here comes the ult as well coming in, and Karma also pops it up from the side, gonna be forced back, and L just looking for the Ramattra, gonna be able to pop the Ramattra ult as well, but gets shoved off of the form as well by their Ramattra. Now just push back to the side. Aria J just trying to look for the back. Mega picking up another one. This Ramattra just cannot be stopped for the side of Valpo. They just don't have an answer for it right now.
Yeah, this Ramattra has had a huge series. Mega doing a great job piloting Ramattra. And, Saginaw Valley with a pretty dominant third point on Flashpoint here. Looks like Valpo will not have a chance to contest and just going to regroup to head to this next point and try to be first to take control.
Yep, and it looks like L's going to swap off the Echo here. Obviously, you got your ult down. No need to stay on the pick anymore if it's not working for you. Take to the Reaper. Really, really good into that Ramattra, obviously, right? Ramattra wants to get closer to you, get that kind of healing or get that healing aura going, kind of take that DPS inside. So if Reaper can at least get a little bit closer, you can turn the tides on it. And it looks like Squishy also, already being on that Reaper from last point, definitely looking for an anti. There it is, the wall from Mei. Not going to be able to stop them. NH Cool just backing up, but L's immediately going to find the first kill in the backline. Going to be able to Wraith mode back to this front line now. Backing up, Zacher picks up the second kill there. Valpo taking a bit of an advantage. Now just trying to shred to this back. You got full charge on Karma. Maybe looking for a jump and a back shot here. Me looking not going to be able to find it, but NH Cool Stuff just kind of chase him down, push him off this point, and Valpo taking 20% of it off the clock.
Valpo at the beginning here opted to head to the next point instead of contesting, and they're rewarded for it, getting 30% on this fourth point here. Obviously, you know, on match point here, if Saginaw Valley is able to take one more point here, that's the entire match.
Yep,
Valpo
definitely.
back against
Oh, here
wall,
comes the
huge
ult as well,
WP
going
ult.
to the back line immediately, hits at the sleep, not going to be able to hit, but Squishy is going to answer back with a death belt and finds 2. They're going to find 3. Saginaw is now up in this fight. There is a 3v4 here, and now shoving back, they're just going to team wipe it. Valpo not going to be able to find it.
It looks like Zachary had anti-heal on a lot, but I mean, Squishy with that reroll, able to find another big reroll in this series.
Yep.
But able to find 60% here, so Valpo going to have about 1 or 2 good chances to take back this point. Like I said, back against the wall. I mean, now's the time where they got to make a huge.
You are early enough. You don't have to commit to a push. You have to try and bait this May ult out. May ult and 1 support out before this final fight, because they are going to be up on ult charge, and you're not going to get all your ults by that end fight. So you really need to just be able to walk it up, but the May wall is huge. They're going to stop Zachar from pushing back to the team. The anti going to finish it off as well. And Valpo now back with tanks. Squishy just going to push to this back line, find Karma, and now the rest of their team just has to back up.
Mega and Bando main both have their ultimate up too, so ultimate eco not looking good for Valpo. If I'm Saginaw Valley, I'm going to drop all 3 of those in overtime here. Valpo in a bad spot, but will have one really good solid chance to regroup and make a contest in overtime here. We'll see what they're able to do here. Zachar frontline so far, May using that ultimate. We do see Band on main also using ultimate. L does go down, big DPS for Valpo. NH Cool Stuff goes down as well. Zachar able to find a kill, but Era J, Zachar, and Karma all fall. And it looks like that will be the series going to Saginaw Valley State 3-1. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit rough, like near the end. Obviously, couldn't really find any of those fights, and I think biggest exclamation point on this game is that Ramattra was just so hard to answer for Valpo, right? I feel like a lot of ult usage became a bit rough near the end because it felt like if Saginaw wasn't up on ultimates, they were even on ultimates, which allowed them to kind of just counterplay it. So Valpo, obviously, you have a lot of great things coming out of this series, a lot of things that you can work on as well, and I think that's, you know, kind of the most important thing about having NECC Week 1 is you get to see what works, what doesn't work. So a lot to kind of pick and choose from this team. I know there's a lot that you can get out of this VOD, especially just kind of watching it back. So I'm excited to see where this team goes.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a lot of flashes there of potential, of great plays, great aim, great communication. Just weren't able to put it all together here for their week 1 game. Like we kind of talked about before the game, a lot of new players, a lot of inexperienced players. So some of that to be expected, but unfortunately not able to pull it out in the end. But that's going to do it for Academy Overwatch for today. But at 8 p.m. just shortly, we are going to reboot the stream for Varsity Overwatch against Illinois State Illinois State Talon.
Nailed it.
So excited for that one. But we will be back in about 20 minutes or so.
So
Maybe like 10 minutes or so.
yeah, quite frankly,
we're gonna end the stream and then get reset up, start it back up. So hopefully we will see you guys back shortly. But yeah, great game to Academy Overwatch tonight. Hats off to Saginaw Valley, and we will see you guys shortly.